Hello, hello, hello. You are inside of ML Bailey Consultants Live. I'm Marcelin Bailey, and tonight we're talking about better stress relief through breathing. You've heard me talk about the stress response, and the stress response is the same as the fight or flight response, and it occurs repeatedly throughout the day. Think about it. Just think about the times that you've been cut off by an inconsiderate driver. You have an immediate reaction. It maybe angers you, but you definitely have an immediate reaction, and you can feel that reaction in your muscles. You grip the steering wheel. You may be startled or surprised, but your body tenses as if it's waiting to do something. Also, think about the times that you've encountered difficult customers or colleagues and how those situations have led you to have increased stress. Again, you experienced a physical reaction. It may be that your muscles started to tense again. It became very difficult for you to talk, like your throat was closing up. It may be that your breathing got shallow. You started breathing in your chest, breathing fast and quickly. Think about the times that you had to present a project or do a presentation in front of senior management. Now, this might have caused you to have stress over a period of time, like days or weeks, perhaps even months. But again, you may have felt as if you could not relax. You were constantly tense. You may have had headaches repeatedly. When you thought about the project or when you thought about having to present it, you probably got butterflies in your stomach, or you might have even felt nauseous. These are all physical signs of the stress response. Well, we have a response like this whenever we have to make an adjustment. It's instantaneous, it happens without us thinking, and it happens because our body, our mind is wired to do it. The stress response is really in place as a mechanism to protect the body, and it happens without us thinking. I've said that before. Basically, the hypothalamus, which is a part of the brain, receives a message or a trigger. It instantaneously triggers the adrenal gland and the pituitary gland, and they in turn begin to secrete hormones, hormones like cortisol, adrenaline, epinephrine. And we know adrenaline is a hormone that makes us feel very strong. We get a lot of energy from it, right? And we can do sometimes when we have that adrenaline in our systems, we can do almost anything. We feel like a super person. So those two glands begin to secrete those three hormones. It initiates what we know as fight or flight. But if this occurs throughout the day, how can we manage it? How can we balance it? How can we limit the effects of increased stress, especially when it's counterproductive to us? Well, the single best way to counterbalance or counteract stress, the stress response, is by proper breathing. So, what do I mean by proper breathing? Proper breathing is taking in air through your nostrils, allowing it to flow deeply into your lungs as far as they will go. That will in turn cause your diaphragm to expand, and it expands downward. What that means is that your lungs are full of all of that good oxygen. It also helps the lungs to do their job and to distribute oxygen throughout the body. Once oxygen is distributed through the body, it can also pick up waste and it carries the waste out of our bodies. And that is how the body can renew itself, repair itself, regenerate itself. So it's very important to take deep breaths and to learn how to breathe fully and deeply into our diaphragm because it helps us to limit the negative effects of the stress response. And it also allows our body to get the nutrients and the oxygen that it needs to repair itself. So, breathing is absolutely by far the best way to relax. The other thing that I want to share about breathing is that there are many breathing exercises that I teach in stress management consultations. And these breathing messages, thank you. Thanks for watching. Thank you for the heart. These breathing exercises allow allow you to relax, calm yourself, and initiate the relaxation response, which is the alternate, the opposite of the stress response. When I teach these breathing exercises, I always teach them in a way that you can do it wherever you are. You don't have to separate yourself. You don't have to go someplace and lie down. You can start these breathing exercises in a big meeting if you like, because they're not noticeable to anyone. There are also breathing exercises that you may not want to do in front of people, but I always teach those that you can do when you're in a situation that may cause you to feel stressful and that you may use in order to calm yourself down. So that's number one. The second thing is you want to make sure that you're sitting in a way that your posture is not impeding your ability to breathe deeply. So often when we're working or we're at our desk, we may hunch over our desk, right? We're working on the computer, we're writing, and we're hunched over. Well, a hunched over position where we've drawn our stomach in and our shoulders are caved in, that type of position impedes our ability to breathe deeply and to breathe into our diaphragm. So you always want to be aware of your posture when you're sitting. Also, you want to stand up. Give yourself a break every 20, 30 minutes and stretch. Allow yourself to stretch and to breathe deeply. That will also help. The third thing, and this may really get to some people, but I know some of you love your Spanx. Women and men both love their Spanx because Spanx are designed to draw all of that extra in so that you can look slim and trim, right? But Spanx are not always the best for you when it comes to being able to breathe deeply and to breathe properly because it constricts the stomach and it constricts the ability of your lungs to expand and your diaphragm to expand. So you want to be very aware of how tight fitting clothes feel, how Spanx or slimming body wear feels, and be aware of how it may restrict your breathing. So we've talked about the stress response. We've talked about how breathing can be the number one best way to, to slow down the stress response and to initiate the relaxation response. I'm Marcelin Bailey. I'm so glad you joined me. Again, thanks for the heart. Share the replay with some of your friends. Also, you also have access to the replays on YouTube and on our Facebook page. So that's it for now. Have a great evening. And as always, take good care.